Two, one. We are live.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Hey, and we're here.
Yeah.
Who knew? So
lovely music.
I like the music. It's very nice, very hip.
Yeah. Lovely.
You know, David doesn't do a lot of things right, but when he does them good.
Wow, David's on the road again, always.
David's on the road. David is on holiday this week. David has more holidays than the Jews. He's always on a holiday.
Oh.
Like my people, we take holidays for everything, but every time I'm talking to him, he's on a holiday. I'm like, I said,
Hanaku and whatever, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got another holiday. I don't know what they're doing. I think they're riding bikes around the house. I have no idea. But he's on a holiday this week. So
okay.
Everyone's stuck with me. So anyway, in the green room, you're telling me, and we're going to talk about this because this will be fun, that the Earth is flat. There's a new documentary out. So let's hear about this documentary that the Earth is flat. I think we'll talk about that and maybe Iraq sending missiles, Iran sending missiles over to Israel to say hello, and Israel's response to that. So,
yeah, and there's a lot of other things as well, of course. You have the man in the background who has too much money. It's a lot of
never
people.
Have too much money. You can never be too thin or have too much money, apparently. So,
are you sure?
Who knows?
Okay. Well, I can tell you a bit. A friend of mine sent me this movie but he told me download it, and I was shocked because it was for 8 hours.
Wow.
An 8-hour long documentary.
Right. About the Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't give any answers. I saw the thing during the weekend.
Right.
All of it. It didn't make any, but it gave questions.
Okay.
For example, Antarctica is the only place on Earth where nobody demands the land.
Antarctica?
Yeah.
That's because there's UFO bases there.
Okay.
There you go. I mean, if you believe the UFO people, and you believe the people who said they've been there, the whole Antarctica is just basically pyramids, UFOs, technology, and that's why the government all work together on keeping it neutral, so to speak.
This UK guy who had this documentary, he had a movie that is the end of the world. You know, it's like a box of something. So it's the end of the it's the end of the world as we know it.
So how are they saying the world is flat when we fly and ships sail around the world, and if it was flat, wouldn't a ship fall off the world?
Well, this guy was he was a nice guy because he didn't buy everything, but there's something that he was honest. I'm not a member of the association, he said, but they have something. They have something that is not it's at least it's you can discuss it because this theory that we are living on board on a ship, the world, the flat world, is just a
ship.
I'm not saying I believe this, please, but it was very interesting.
Okay, so flat, aliens live in our Antarctic, and we live on a ship. So the world, Earth, is a ship. Let's just take this. So if we're a ship, and all we do is go around like the sun all the time, then we're just almost like a ride. We're on a Disney ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also heard that we are going to add another 2 hours a day.
Really?
Not 24 hours any longer, but 26.
When's this happening?
I heard it on the radio in Norwegian broadcasting. They told it was an American idea and I was almost driving out of the road because they said we needed more hours.
What? Oh, it's not that there's going to be more hours in a day. We need more hours, so they want to add 2 more hours. That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So because somebody needs
that's fun.
hours, we're going to add 2 hours.
Yeah. And they are going to earn 2 more hours when they are on duty somewhere.
That's crazy. That sounds like somebody sitting in a basement in his mom's house coming up with a crazy idea. It's like, what should we do today to screw people other than the Earth is flat? I'm still fascinated by people thinking the Earth is flat. I'm still fascinated by that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand how someone would think the Earth is flat. But what do I know? I don't know anything. And now they want to add a 26. So we want to have a 26-hour day now.
Yeah. That it was not decided, of course, but it was an American idea.
That's stupid. Like most of our ideas.
And I was laughing. I had to stop the car to be honest, because it doesn't matter. Come on, 2 more hours. It's I had an idea once. To have a time bank.
Okay.
A time bank.
Right.
And we open a bank and you can deposit time,
okay.
and you can withdraw a time.
Okay.
We can sell time.
Yeah, but the universe doesn't go for that.
I know, and it's not right, but people can go up and brag and say.
There was a movie with Justin Timberlake about that. Where there was they got so many hours, and then you when you bought things with time.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where like you didn't get more time, you would just die. And then this one guy had like 50 million hours or some ridiculous thing, so he was going to live. It was a very interesting. Same theory that you're going with is like a time bank. I'm just still trying to get over the guy who came up with the 26-hour day, and he's probably the same with the Earth.
That's beautiful. I bet it's Homer Simpson or someone.
Probably Homer Simpson. What do you think? So in Iran, they said, right, make sure I get the 2 right. Iran sent missiles this week to Israel to say hello, and Israel shot them down. And so far, Israel hasn't retaliated. So good, bad, indifferent. What do we think that's going to happen in the Middle East? How that's going to blow up?
Oh, I had to be Methuselah to know what's going to happen down there. It's happened so much these 1,000 years.
Yeah.
1,000 of years, and I don't know if it's ever going to be peace down there. I don't think so.
For a while, right? You kind of want to have peace. It's kind of like I don't see the point of just like we're killing each other for no reason.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It's like why are we killing each other? And over some religious difference, who cares?
And a lot of countries today has really too much people and too much land. Unfortunately, not Norway, because we could move half of at least we could move over Texas to Norway. We have a lot of space.
Really? I don't know. So is Norway, like, how's the taxes there? Good. I'll live in Norway. and to hang out with reindeer.
No, and I'm too south seeing reindeer.
Okay. So
But I see the Uralis.
ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I know the thing with the green sky thing. That's pretty
Green or sometimes a bit blue and red and other
Nice.
colors.
okay. So I know Norway and like Finland is looking for people to come live there.
Yeah.
So
Because we are 5.5 million people, and we are. If you turn around in southern Norway, if you turn the country around, we go all the way to middle of Italy.
wow. Okay.
It's a small, it's a narrow but long country.
Gotcha. Very nice. Okay. Well, it's good to know because if I want to move somewhere, I figure Norway could be fun. In the summer months.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, in the summer, it's rainy and it's not a good place to live. Weather like if you like hiking and stuff like that, welcome. And the fjords and the scenery are
Beautiful.
lovely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So Norway's on my list. I'll have to go check it out. So
Okay, you're hereby invited to Bergen, the first capital of Norway.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
The world is flat, so I could just walk there. Apparently,
yeah,
I could drive my car.
and it's like a hockey, an ice hockey. What do you call it? Track.
Okay.
So, in the end of in the end of the earth, there are where they are fighting. What you call it?
Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't fall down all of a sudden.
Yeah, because I'm still fascinated that I still go back to the Earth is flat. I'm still fascinated that people think that the Earth is flat, and there's a documentary that's 8 hours long that talks about it but doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, but and again they are removed from Vimeo and YouTube and everything. So you have to download it, kind of. I thrown it away because I've seen it just
No,
for
but
fun.
the Antarctic though fascinates me because you have all those governments down there, and then everybody talks about UFOs and lizard people and everything down there and the lost city of Atlantis. So that's fascinating. That would be an interesting topic to have a guest on.
Yes,
on that.
yes. What's going on down there? Because is there a spot in the world where nobody are claiming the land?
The Antarctic, I know the Arctic from things I've seen and read has this no-fly zone. And I read an interview from a pilot who said he flew over it, and he said they watched the ground open up and big circular dishes fly out like UFOs. So he said that's why the governments are down there to either hide, protect, or do whatever. And then there was another guy who said when he was there, they found pyramids through tunnels that are, because now the ice is melting, that it's going to reveal that there were civilizations here millions and millions of years before we think we got here.
But and another topic I remember is that if you see on very many logos, like the World Health Organization, the government of sea organization, whatever they are called, and everything, you see the Arctic in the middle on the top.
What do you see on the top?
Arctic, north here,
Oh,
but you don't see Antarctic because Antarctic is a ring around. If you see the logo, if you have You only have scotch in front of you, don't you?
No, I can pull it away. The Scotch and cigar show's done. Now I'm doing this show, so I don't have Scotch
I'm
and
kidding.
cigar.
I'm kidding.
So let me look at the World Health Organization logo.
Yeah.
All right. So the okay. So it's got a sickle, and it's got a snake, and it's got it has two reeves around it.
But in the background you see this map, yeah?
Yes, I see the map.
And it's Arctis in the middle.
Right.
And around the small round thing around the world is Antarctica.
Ah, got it. Okay.
And they have drawn this from a long time ago.
Right.
Just maybe a nerd who found out. I don't care really because I don't believe that the Earth is flat. But there's something.
Yeah. Well, what fascinates me is when you look at a map from like the 14th century, and it's spot on to what the map is of today, and they didn't have airplanes, what that we know of, and whatever to go do all that with longitude and latitude and figure out how the land looks. And when you see that, I'm like, okay, I find it hard to believe that we're the most advanced civilization sitting here on the planet.
No. I think it's the lizards.
The lizard people, sure.
Yeah.
Illuminati, the lizard people, my people. Yeah, we hang out. That's
I'm
at the conference. That's why I'm outside. I'm at the lizard people conference today. We have to be outside.
Oh, okay. It's a camp, kind of.
Right. It's like I'm in my bungalow, and later we're going to have plans to take over the world as usual. It'll be fun.
Yeah. But you remember your ring.
I have the ring. Yes, we have a ring, and we have a whole bunch of secret handshakes, which is also very cool. So this is an interesting thing. I just read something this morning about Biden is getting more money in donations than Trump, and it seems people are leaving the Trump party, if you will, and coming over to maybe normalcy. So maybe it won't be the world in November.
But anyway, I it's not meaning to be rude, but
you can be rude.
These American presidents are so old; they will die eventually.
Yes, but the problem is that they're so old that it's kind of like we discussed this before. If retirement in America is 70 years old, then whether you're the president or a Supreme Court justice or whatever, when you hit 70, you need to retire. It's that simple. Like you can't, if once you hit 70, if you're in office as president, when your term is up, you're done. Like you can run the president till you're 70, you can be president until you're 74, then you're done because, that 4-year thing. But if you're 71, you can't run for president. That's your retirement. If you're 70 years old, that's what they say the new retirement age is now, right? It's 70. Then whether you're on the Supreme Court or whether you're in Congress or the Senate or the president or whatever it is, then you retire. Now, Warren Buffett's like 500 years old and he's still going, but he's his own company. I'm saying if we're making it a mandatory thing, a law that you can retire at 70 and get benefits, then we should make it that if you're the president or you're in Congress or you're in the Supreme Court at 70, you should retire.
Who should be running against each other? Leif Erikson from Norway and Columbus, Christopher.
Okay.
Because they would be around, I think. Yeah, they are not 70.
They do a better job than what we've got going on now.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys we have now are just stupid. Let's just be blunt. They're foolish. They have no idea. I mean, Biden.
By the way, in Norway, we can go off when we are 62.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Maybe we should move to Norway.
Yeah, we have our benefits with the cleanest oil in the world.
Nice. And that's why when you cook your fish in Norway, you cook it in BP, Shell, Exxon, because it's the cleanest oil in the world, and we like our fish to be cooked in the oil that they live in. So, in Norway, you retire at 62. How's the healthcare in Norway? Is the healthcare good?
It's getting worse because of the demographics in Norway. We have problems. A town is around. Well, it's really kind of big if it's 100,000 people there. And we also have towns who are 25,000, and the government are removing the hospitals. You have longer distances, and yeah, because it's expensive with all this. You know, the Italy thing. You know, you come all the way down to Rome.
You have a sovereign wealth fund that has like $2 trillion in it. Maybe they should spend some of that money on the people.
I've told them. And in infrastructure, you know who built our infrastructure in general?
Who?
It was the Russians for the Germans.
Really?
Yeah, the German. Yeah.
Okay.
They built a lot of roads in Norway, and we still use it. Old and we have what's the name of the avalanche? You know, when the stones are falling down from the mountains. Avalanche. Yeah. That's a big problem.
Really? Okay.
And we don't have money enough to secure the roads.
Wait. You guys have a $2 trillion sovereign wealth.
I know.
And you guys don't have money to secure your roads and get hospitals. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Because we are investing in your country, in
Middle East.
In the Middle East, all over London. We own the most common street in you know the. We are buying everything outside, but not investing in our own future.
So what are they going to do with the sovereign wealth fund? They'll hit $50 trillion and your country will fall apart. That makes no sense.
Yeah, no sense.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And we have toll roads everywhere with it's impossible to drive around like you can do in Europe and also in America. You can drive around the old road and go for free. Maybe not many will do it, but they have the option. In Norway, you don't have the option. You just have to pay money. Point.
Wow.
Blank.
That's crazy. Well, in Orlando, I have a friend who lives there. In Orlando, everywhere you go is kind of like Virginia. You need to take a toll road. It's like in Northern Virginia, it's toll roads. Because if you take a normal road with all the stop lights, it'll take you forever. So everybody takes a toll road. In Orlando, everything is a toll road.
You know, this artwork I have in the back here is about. This is the Norwegian government collecting toll roads money.
Okay.
So
I like that. Very nice.
Yeah, you know, in the old ways, look at his sad eyes. He had to collect it, you know.
Let's do this way instead. There you go.
Yeah, I have the cars there.
I see that. There's the cars. There's the toll. Very nice. Okay. Little even made this morning. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I always like your work, so your work always looks good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I had, by the way, I won't name his name, but I had a really good meeting with a possible pro agent yesterday.
Nice. Very nice.
We had a good dinner and yeah.
So your stuff is global now.
Yeah, global. Norway is nothing. You can sell 4 paintings in a decade, maybe.
That's why you need to go global. People can buy your paintings over everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to think global these days.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't think global, it doesn't you're not doing good.
No, no, no. Because the no countries like Norway, we are too small. The
Yeah.
demographics are, but the demographics is, I have the advertising education, and
Right.
I know that a lot of American companies, brands,
Right.
are testing Norway, using Norway as a testing country.
Oh,
One we have money, had at least. We still have, but it's very expensive in Norway, but we earn more money. But it's kind of interesting the way, at least in the so-called big towns,
right.
like Coca-Cola company, they rolled out the Urge in Norway.
Okay. We don't have that in the States.
That's maybe because it went
Well,
bad here.
okay.
Yeah, testing, testing,
No,
testing,
product
1, 2.
testing products.
Yeah,
I never knew that. I never knew Norway was a testing ground for products, but that makes sense.
because it's a mini community. You don't have to have so many. I've been around, when I took my education. I tested things for, because you get some goodies and some money for being a tester.
I like that. Well, that's a good way to pay through university too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like that. Very cool. So we should test things in Norway. What can we test? We should test Dave.
The nuclear.
The nuclear test. Nuclear, no. I don't think you want to test nuclear in Norway. Melt the ice. That's crazy. That's too funny.
No, but why don't we take a trip? Take a train to Antarctic.
I would do that. I would love to go to the Antarctic
Yeah,
and see the UFOs.
yeah, and just stop by there and have a talk and
Do the show from the Antarctic, all bundled up.
wow, that would be
That would
something.
That'd be a great show. And have a UFO.
This is Stephen Oldfart. We are live from Antarctic.
And we do have
Do.
on we do get demographics from the Antarctic. I guess the scientists that are down there. When we look at, we have a global map, a heat map, where we can see where people listen to the show and watch the show. We get every week 4 or 5 listeners from the Antarctic.
Holy.
True. Yeah, on the podcast and also on the YouTube. So I'm always fascinated that there's 4 or 5 people there, and hello to you 4 or 5 people that have no life, that need to be entertained, and they choose our network to be entertained, or our shows.
And I knew that, of course, and that's why because you told me, and that's why we honor and we will pray for Antarctic tonight.
That and then it gets cold again, so they don't lose their ice. It gets cold and they don't lose their ice. So,
yeah. It's been a lot of Norwegians trying to get plant a flag down there as well.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You guys should plant a flag on the moon. Stop with America. Stop with the planet. Go to another planet. Go to a planet.
And also, and at the same movie I saw, you should have seen this. They are saying this traveling to the moon is only bullshit because it's.
I've heard that.
Yeah. It doesn't match up. You see the glitches on the footages on the television.
I've seen the documentaries on that. I want to think, because when I was a kid, I watched the moon landing and the rockets. In my mind, still want to think that we went to the moon and it wasn't bullshit. But I know that when they asked NASA for like the notes and the technology, they say they lost the technology or the notes on how they got to the moon.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then the other thing is apparently there's a radiation belt, between here and the moon, and they said, if you go there, that would be very bad. So to me, it's kind of like, if we went, that's great. If we didn't go, that's fine. But I'm assuming whoever's going to go to the moon, because there's private companies now trying to go to the moon,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
want them to fly over the old lunar sites so we can see
Yeah.
the flag, see the dune buggy they drove on the moon, see all this stuff, and be like, oh, okay, then I'm okay with that. Like, I believe in them. I think that will be interesting.
But the moonshiners who lives up there, they've been eating the flag years ago.
Sure. Well, if you believe the ancient astronaut theory people, the UFO people, the moon is nothing more than like a big Death Star. And I know that there was a special with real astronauts, not like a make-believe thing, and NASA. And the guy said when they landed on the moon, it rang like a bell for an hour. So they think the moon may be hollow.
Okay.
And I was like, that sounds like a bunch of crap. And then apparently one of the astronauts and somebody from NASA was part of the interview, and they said, no, when it rang like a bell for an hour when we landed on it. It's just like a bell would ring. And they said they think it's hollow. And I'm like, maybe. Could be just like a big control station. You never know.
But when one of the, I don't know if it was Jupiter, the moon landing rockets. Maybe. But who took the footage, the movie when it took off from the moon?
Oh, they planted a camera. I mean, they said they planted like today with selfies, you have a selfie stick, you plant your camera. So I'm assuming they planted a camera and the camera watched it take off.
And sending
pictures by, whatever, however it was
email.
Email. Yes. So that I don't have a problem with. Neil
Armstrong
being the first guy on the moon where they took a picture. That was kind of like, how'd you get that picture? So I'm assuming, and I don't know, that the lunar module had a mechanical arm with a camera on it, because if you're the first guy on the moon, how are you getting that picture? So that was always my question as a kid. It's like, well, how are they getting that if he's the first guy to step on the moon, unless they got out, set the camera up, went back and did it again? Then that would be the only way I would see that. So I don't understand.
And next time you should bring a cat, because the Russian had Laika, the dog.
They had the monkey, the dog. They had the female cosmonaut. Yeah. They had everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I do have questions. The problem is you ask a question, people think you're crazy. Like, and I'm like, no, it's just a question. It's like, so, and I think Neil Armstrong is dead now, but Buzz Aldrin isn't. So my question to like Mr. Aldrin would be like, so I just have one question. Yes, you went there. I am not going to go through any of that. I don't care. But how did you get the camera to catch Neil Armstrong coming off the Eagle if you were the only two guys there? So my hypothesis is there was a mechanical camera. If not, then it has to be that they got off, set the camera up, went back in and jumped out, and did they staged it then. Or I guess, it was fake. So that's really my only question for Buzz Aldrin is, how did you do that? Like, how did you get Neil Armstrong being the first guy to do that? And other than that, I'm just going to assume that we went to the moon and we had the technology and the radiation didn't kill them, yada, yada, yada.
I believe I believe I can fly, whatever, but fly me to the moon. I believe all this, but still I am so curious to just watch what this program in 8 hours.
Right.
I just want to see it by curiosity,
Yeah.
if nothing else.
And that's part of the thing, right? Everybody's curious. And now with technology, and when someone says, let's go to the moon again, how did you get there? NASA's like, well, we lost our notes. So the problem, and this is where everybody's like, you didn't go. Because that, if you will, in this humankind's time frame, not counting what's past or future, but in this time frame, that would be one of the most significant things for mankind, right? Going to the moon.
Of course,
How
you don't.
How do you lose the notes? Now, that could all be bullshit too, for all I know. I mean, it's documentaries. I mean, I've never heard someone from NASA say it. I've never heard an astronaut say it on their documentary.
Again, yeah.
The ringing of the bell, I've heard from an astronaut and from NASA people. So that I'm okay with. So, but my question, like I said, to Buzz Aldrin is, I'm not going to ask you, did you go? You didn't go. I'm going to assume you went. You got back safely because you're here. I just want to know how you took a picture of Neil Armstrong stepping first steps on the moon. That's the question I really have about it. And then from there, okay, you can, whatever conspiracy theory or hypothesis people want to come up with, we're good.
I think maybe Elon Musk were there already with his car,
Well, his car is like, I think, past Saturn or something now. It's like way out there. Every now and then, I know they give an update on where the car is.
Oh, they don't know where it is.
Yeah, they're tracking it. Sure, they track it because they sent it up there.
Yeah.
Track it, so they're tracking it. But in fact, we met at a conference in Dubai, some guys from SpaceX, and they were selling moon rides, or not moon rides, but Earth rides for $40 million.
Wow.
You could travel around. I was like, what? And I was like, I can go in an airplane for a couple $1,000s. They go, yeah, but you won't be in space. I go, listen, for $40 million, you take me to the moon. If I want to say I circled the planet in a spaceship and be one of the first, like right now, a couple hundred people, it's maybe $1 million to $5 million. That's it. That's not anything past that. I don't see it. So for $40 million, I pay to go to the moon. That's like that. There's not a lot of people who can say I walked on the moon. But me flying in an airplane, which is just all a rocket ship, is a glorified airplane, to circle the Earth, to go, I was weightless for 10 minutes, or I did this, or are you stupid? Like he said that to me. I was like, how dumb is this crap? How stupid. I don't care how much money you have. If you piss away $40 million to go just be like, I was one of the first, nobody's going to remember you, and nobody cares. And if you're going to be the first guy like Neil Armstrong to walk on the moon, or I get to walk on the moon for $40 million, now we're talking. Now I'll spend $40 million. Now I'm excited. But when they were saying it's $40 million to fly around the planet, I'm like, I don't know if you realize this, but I flew in the front of the bus to get to Dubai around the planet, and it cost me $5,000. And I'm good. Like I don't think I need to spend $40 million to get the same thrill. And he goes, oh no, but you'll be, however many miles up. I go, who cares? He go, you'll be weightless. I go, and
think of all the points you will get from the
American Express. Think of all the American Express points I'll get. But it's just so stupid to me. It's like when he said that, I go, no wonder no one's buying your $40 million trip. It's the dumbest thing I've heard. Like I said to him, $5 million, I could see it. Maybe, probably not. $40 million to take me to the moon. $80 million, you taking me to Mars.
And in my head, you remember the diving accident with the submarine, you know?
The one that imploded about a year or two ago.
Yeah. That's also stupid in my head, because why do such a thing?
Yeah.
You got a kick, but you can go to casino and have a kick.
Yeah,
come on.
And this thing where these people want to be, this is the first of that. You know what? No, I'm good. I don't need to go 25,000 feet below the sea, and I don't.
No.
If you know what, I can send a camera down there. And really nice pictures, and they do. And there was an article I read about the government found lost civilization with big sea monsters, and all this other stuff. I'm good with that. I don't need to go find them. That's the government's job. And you don't want to tell me? You don't have to tell me. One day they'll wash up on shore like they do, and I'll be like, oh, there's a sea monster. The same with going. I would love to go into space. I'll be the first one to jump on a UFO. Let me rephrase it. I'd be the first one to
Yeah.
take a UFO and go anywhere they want to take me in the universe, multidimensional. I'm all for it. However, Elon Musk or Bezos or any of these other guys want to take me to the moon. I don't know. I mean, I know you have a lot of money and you have really smart people. I just don't trust the people putting the stuff together anymore because people do
Yeah.
very lackadaisical now, and I'm more
Yeah.
worried about it imploding out there.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
a UFO lands and goes, "Hey, I'm going to take you on a trip for the next million years," I'm good. I'm a figuring
Of course.
while
Of
I'm good.
course.
But going on SpaceX, or I don't know what Bezos thing is called, I have a real problem. Like, how's the
Yeah.
technology? Your rockets still blow up. There's a few things. So it's kind of like, even NASA. I'm like, they're outsourcing now to, like, I guess Bezos' company and Musk's company, which is cool. But once again, mistakes happen. And back in the 60s, when we sent astronauts, it was a little different.
But it's impossible to lose the drawings and the
I agree.
plans.
That to me is the crazy.
That's I don't believe it. It's a bad cover up.
Yes, that's a conspiracy to me. That's kind of like, really, you lost the notes on how ship that gets through the radiation belt so people don't die. Lost that note.
No, it's impossible.
Yeah,
it's like you are forgetting your anniversary times 1,000.
You're not going to forget your anniversary. You don't lose the notes. Now, once again, NASA's never said that. I've never read anything that NASA said.
Okay.
It's been in documentaries. It's been in conspiracy type movies and whatever.
Yeah,
I've never heard anybody from NASA or an astronaut say, we can't find, whatever. It's always the people with the conspiracy. I know the ringing of the bell. Like I said, I heard from the NASA people from NASA in a documentary and an astronaut. So that I'm going to believe. But like I said, for me, the big question is to Buzz Aldrin, since Neil Shepard's dead, or Alan Shepard, is how did you take this picture if you the guys on the moon, right? So Stanley Kubrick is there taking a picture, and I get it. So that would be my question to Buzz Aldrin is like, so did you have a mechanical arm? How did it work?
No, you have bubbles.
Yeah.
You have bubbles as well.
Yeah.
You saw that on the screen?
Yep.
Or maybe it was a UFO. I don't know.
On here? Oh, yeah, we can do bubbles. We can do tons of stuff. Let me see if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. Hold on. Let me see.
No, I have something as well, but
sometimes
it looks stupid.
Hold on, son. Does it work sometimes? Yeah, there you go.
Oh, hallelujah!
We can do things with our hands, and then we've also got this for people that really won't care, but we'll do it anyway. Let's see if I can do it really quick. We got the sparkles there. Look at that.
Wow.
That's the UFO. The UFO's coming to see us. And then we're going to celebrate the UFOs with some balloons.
Ooh.
UFOs, going to send them some love. And there you
go. Peace and love.
Peace and love, man. Peace and love.
And nobody cares about peace and love anymore.
Not anymore. It's not like in the 60s when everybody's like peace and love and that peace sign. I don't even know if peace sign is. I
don't think they care. Again, we've been talking about this 1 trillion times maybe, but that people don't care is much worse than they don't know.
Right. And the fact that they don't care that they don't care. And they don't care that
Yeah. It's
and they don't care, which is very, very bad. So that's always a bad thing. So now next week is your brother going to be joining us again? Because everybody loves
I hope
it.
so. I hope so. He's a good guy. Good guy. A bit.
We got a lot of comments that go, "We love this guy." So
we will have him back. Yes, of course.
And then hopefully Adam will join us next week. Adam's in and outer because Adam's got his own show. So Adam's got stuff going on. So this show is like, if he can make it, he tries to show up. So we invite other people to show up on the show, but everybody's got like their own stuff. So it's like, do you want to do this? And it's like even the cigar show we just did, everybody's like, oh, maybe we'll do it. And then all of a sudden, they're all in London. So now it's later in the day where we're just starting our day in America. So it's all like, oh, okay. So it's a little easier.
But maybe we can go live, and maybe we can invite some people to join us. Can you receive phone calls or whatever?
If we go live, like just say we go live next week, we do the show live and we broadcast it on its normal time on Friday. What'll end up happening is that people can put comments while we're talking.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all. So there's not going to be like someone can't get on the phone with us, if you will, and go, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. They can't do that.
I want to hold the microphone, What do you think about the microphone's development, sir?
You know what you could do? If you want, you go to a cafe, we can do the live show from there, and you can just grab people off the streets and talk to them.
Yeah.
We could do that. So we'll have to think about how we do a live show, because I think people would like to see this live because they can ask questions, especially when we go down these rabbit holes of conspiracy theories.
Yeah. But what is I hate the two words I hate,
right.
And that is conspiracy, because it's so negative. It doesn't have to be negative at all, because it's pure interest in
it's a hypothesis.
Yeah,
that's all. And I agree with you. When someone says there's a conspiracy theory, I'm like, all right, like tell me what you think. And really, it's not a theory; it's a hypothesis, because you got to prove it to get to the theory to make it a law. So I'm like, tell me the hypothesis, and they tell you the hypothesis. It's the same with the Earth being flat. Okay. You think the Earth is flat? Tell me what you think. Cool. We didn't go to the moon. All right. Tell me why we didn't go to the moon. Cool. What you tell me is what you believe. I still have my beliefs, and
I don't believe. I don't believe.
You don't believe we went to the moon?
I believe we went to the moon. I believe almost anything, but I like to set questions sometimes.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and so. To me, when someone says it's a conspiracy theory, I'm like, no, it's really a hypothesis that you think something may not look right, with like the moon landing and the picture. Okay, well then why don't we ask intelligent questions to Buzz Aldrin or someone at NASA that may still be alive that was around at the time, and have them answer it instead of making an 8-hour movie that's totally ridiculous. Right?
Yeah. But it was interesting because he talked about a lot of theories. For example, in politics, from the chair, when people went up and they say this is completely a conspiracy theory. And then I often took the word and I said, at least it is a theory.
Right. At least they're thinking about something.
Yeah, but the theory is more important than the conspiracy, because if we don't have theories, how are we? How did we find out the wheel? Before the wheel, we had squares, yes?
Right. And before squares, we had rectangles. So there you go.
Yeah. and before that, we have Teslas.
Yeah, well, and then we see how good they go. They work in the winter. So, yeah. No,
I know.
Well, next week should be interesting if your brother's on. We'll have to talk about with your brother. Let's just do a whole thing on conspiracy theories, because I know that'll get him going.
Everything. He don't need.
I know. All we have to do is need a little bit. It's great. I love him.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of that? And he goes off, and I love it. It's awesome.
He's like a car never going on that don't need petrol.
He's powered by the sun. He's powered by the sun. No, I like him. He's very cool. I always enjoy when he's on the show. So, but our time is coming to the end. So, what do you want to say before we go bye-bye? So,
we are in the end now.
Yes, we're at the end of the show, not the end of the world. So, this is it, everybody. The world's going to implode in about 20 minutes. So, right after
we never know. We never know.
So, but this will be around for posterity. So, don't forget that ad hoc
Eh,
show.
Eric, you're in Bulgaria now. Don't take this very seriously. This is going to be fine.
Yeah, everything will be good except if you're in Bulgaria. Don't forget that you can see the show every Saturday, or I'm sorry, the show airs on Friday mornings at 7 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's when the podcast also comes out. You can get the podcast on Amazon, Hulu, not Hulu, I'm sorry, Spotify, Google, Apple, and wherever else you get your podcast. We're on like 40 different podcast places. You can see us here if you want to watch us. Why? I don't know why you want to watch, but if you do, you can watch us. And you can enjoy the show. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, or you're an expert on the topic, let us know. Come on the show, and you can give us your hypothesis, and whether it's a conspiracy or not.
Please do that. Do that. Why? You only have one life.
Yeah,
at the time,
yeah,
at least. Maybe you live 100 times, but come on, let's think about this live and go live.
There you go. We'll go live in a week or two and get everybody all excited about it. Morton, it's always good to see you, my friend. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. It helps the channel. We'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.
Yeah. Bye.